here we go. Am I connected? Yes, I am. There we go. Hello, BookTube. It's Louise, the Big Head Bookworm. Lovely to see you. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day, wherever it is you are, and what it is you're doing, wherever it is you are, and doing that. I'm now stuck with that as a beginning, unfortunately, because when I start talking, that's what comes out, and it's not the best. Oof, hair's looking a bit. Just have to. Why? I have to get a clip. There we go. Anyway, the thing is, the majority of the day I don't look at myself, and so I don't see what I look like. And it's only when I record I actually look at myself and go, ooh, there you are with that piece of hair sticking out. Anyway, let's stop. It's Friday. That means it's Friday Reads. I've just emptied all the bins. It's Friday Reads. It's the job I hate the most, I have to say. And I've done it on a Friday, but I really do. I don't know why. Emptying the bins and sorting all the bins out is my least favourite job, and one that I grumble internally. And in a lot of the books, like kind of focus books or gratitude books, they say give all your attention to your job and to the act that it is that you are performing, the task that you are seeking to complete. Give all your focus to it and make that you are giving your best. And there's only so much I can give to emptying the bins. There is. I've tried giving of myself to the bins, and I just come away going, oh, that's an annoying job. Hooray though, I've got clean bins. Woohoo! I could just leave that there now, really. I've got clean bins. Yes. My day is done. Do you know, it's been one of those weeks. I've actually got coffee here to make myself feel better. Pep up my day. It's been one of those weeks. I was thinking about it this morning, and I was thinking there's no reason why this week has been one of those weeks. And across a lot of some of the groups I'm in and some of the friendship chats and what have you, there's been a lot of internal chat about this week's full moon, which is a full moon, new moon, sorry, this week's new moon in Scorpio. I think it's a new moon in Scorpio. Was it Wednesday that it happened? I think it might even have been Wednesday. And I never particularly love a new moon. I'm better new moon to full is a good couple of weeks. Full to new is never as good in some respects, energetically wise. And this one seems to have knocked a lot of people sideways. And I know a lot of people have felt this new moon, or don't realise it, but have been struggling this week. And actually, it's a lot of new moon energy. If you're into that kind of thing, obviously I am into that kind of thing. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking to you about it. But anyway, I offer that to you if you've been having one of those weeks. And I was thinking, there's nothing really why I should look back. I've not felt 100% bit chesty, which if you can hear, I can hear it in my voice. You might not be able to hear it. It's not a very good microphone, but I can hear it in my voice. And it's just been one of those weeks. Nothing bad's happened, but nothing good either. Just got hair in my eye. Anyway. How are you? Have you had one of those weeks? If you have had one of those weeks, can I just move you slightly forward? There we go. I felt like I was having to sit up like that. Actually, that's probably not a bad thing. If you've been having one of those weeks, I send feelings towards you and say, I know that's not fun. That's not fun. And if you've been having a bad week, distinctly not fun, and I send you lots. But if you've been having a good week, excellent. Send some of that energy around here, please. Around this gaff. Anyway, I was thinking, do you know, you haven't read a lot. I really feel like I'm not doing well with the books. I am doing well, but at the same time, it doesn't feel it. And I think I don't understand what the disconnect is between the action and the feeling. But that's another video, isn't it? Anyway, you're not here for this. Or maybe you are. Lisa said, have I read The Good Daughter by Karen Slaughter? The Good Daughter by Karen Slaughter? No, I like Karen Slaughter, and I have read quite a lot of Karen Slaughter. At one point, I was completely, up with her, and I was reading it as they were coming out, I would read it. But I have lost my way over the years. I mean, she's prolific, isn't she? I mean, she's one of those that churns them out. Good lass. I mean, well done. Lisa was saying it's a very good one, so I shall look out for that. I might go to the library and treat myself to a thriller. Maybe that's what I need. And then Amanda said The London Eye Mystery by Siobhan Dowd. Is that the one with the autistic narrator? Yes. So that is Ted. That is Ted, the narrator. I didn't know that that's what it was to begin with, and I was very much like, to begin with, I was like, it has a unusual pacing and an unusual way of everything's framed, unusual to my mind, because he is an autistic narrator, but it's beautiful. It's actually really good. Now, if you were a fan of The Curious Incident of a Dog at Nighttime by Mark, whatever his name was, I can't remember. Going with H. Anyway, him. I didn't love that one. I liked it, and I could see why it was unusual, and I could see why people were so thrilled with it, because I think it was one of the first books that came out that had an autistic child narrator or teen narrator, or it came from their perspective without prejudice, so that it was just part of their kind of living, and that was beautiful. From that point of view, it was beautiful, but I found the construction of it a bit awkward and a bit, it got bogged down with itself, I felt, but I still thought it was an interesting book to read. This one, I feel is cleaner, and I feel that she's handled it beautifully in the fact that his unusual way of seeing things, unusual because it's not my way, it's just matter of fact, and his family accept it completely and understand what he is, you know, how he sees the world, and he just has a different operating system. And it's not that it's a wrong operating system, it's a different one. And so allowances have to be made for compatibility. I mean, it is literally in that kind of way. And so it's been really good. So this is the book that we are reading. Sorry, I should have framed this better. This is the book that we are reading to Benedict at night. Slowly going through it because he's tired. And the chapters, fortunately, aren't too long. So we're on chapter 27. But chapter 26 was 8 pages long, and it's quite decently big text. So, and it's, it's really good, really good. And Benedict's 10, he's following it brilliantly. And he said, I found it a bit different at first, but now it's lovely, and that he really likes Ted. And I must admit, that's how I feel about it. So it's a really good book. I recommend it. I recommend it for anybody that's got a 8 to 12-year-old girl or boy. It's a really good book. So there we are. That was that. So what have I read this week? I have, of course, finished my audiobook. And that was Five Little Pigs by Agatha Christie, which is an Hercule Poirot. It's probably one of my favourite Hercule Poirots ever. And I listened to it on audiobook. And it's just fantastic, and I found it wonderful, and it was a comforting listen to, and yes, so that was that. Then I started my next audiobook, which was, can you guess? Yes, an Agatha Christie. I haven't listened to this one on audiobook before, and they do it with mirrors, and it is a Miss Marple mystery. And so it's a very, look at that, it's super short. I think it's narrated by Joan Hickson, who is my favourite Miss Marple. There are some other ones out there that are superb as well, but she's probably my favourite. I think she was my first Miss Marple that I watched, although I think I did watch Margaret Rutherford. But it was Joan Hickson that I really remember, that particular the couple of series, and we actually have the DVDs of it. So listening to her narrate it, it's so comforting for me. I think this was recorded towards the end of Joan's life, because you can hear it in her voice a little bit. It's just not quite as clean, but I've got into it now. So the first chapter, I was having to really concentrate, and I was conscious of the fact that I was aware of her voice rather than absorbed into the story. And I find that if I'm uncomfortable with the narrator, their voice becomes what I'm listening to rather than the story. And it was completely like that. I was listening to her voice because her words weren't clear. A bit like mine today because of my chest. But yes, there was some kind of, I could hear it. But now I've actually clicked into it, and I was listening to it this morning, and I didn't notice it one little bit. So that was good. So I'm listening to that, and I shall be finishing that in a couple of days. Book-wise, actual physical books, I have finished Wondersmith by Jessica Townsend. So The Calling of Morrigan Crow. So this is the second book. The first book is Nevermore, The Trials of Morrigan Crow. And then this is the one that's just come out, and the one that Benedict saw when we were down in Cornwall. We adore. So I bought this on a recommendation of Eleanor from Eleanor Reads Books last year. Last year? Yes, it was last year. Was it last year, or was it the beginning of this year? Can't remember. When did it come out? When did you come out, young book? Yes, 2017. So it was last year. So I remember getting it and just loving it. I'd like to see a lovely naked hardback. Just slip its jacket off. Look at that. Whoa. Do a good naked hardback today for this series, and I really loved it. And then I read it to, so then we read it to Benedict, and there is the kind of magical world that is as captivating as Harry Potter. It's not the wizarding world. It's not set in this. It's not set in this country. It's a completely imaginary world. So there's a lot more kind of world building. And there isn't the feel that with Harry Potter that it's just there, and that if you could just step sideways, it's kind of going on without, we are the Muggles, and if we could just slip into it, we would be in Diagon Alley. It's completely different, but it has that same aspect of the magic is every day, and it's just glorious. And Nevermore is just such a good. Nevermore is such a good book. If you haven't read it, and as an adult who doesn't love that kind of child books in that way, I don't read masses of children's fiction. I thought it was brilliant, and I loved it. And then read it with Benedict, and he was hooked like nobody's business. So it was him that spotted that this was out. And I said to him, I'm actually going to read it because then I'm not worried that I'm going to be missing the nights that your dad reads. Because the husband wants to know what's happening as well, you see. So it can't just be me that reads it. You see? So I've read it, and it's so good. It's so good. I can't tell you the plot of it, but I can say there was... You know how sometimes there can be the peril, things can go wrong for your protagonist, your hero, your heroine in this case. And you kind of go, oh, you have the sense of dread that things are going to go wrong. It was never long enough that it took, there was always support, there was always a quick resolution, not a resolution, but she was never hung out to dry. You never just thought that worry and everything was going to be heaped on her, or there was never too much despair, or never too much worry, or I think it was judged perfectly, and you always wanted to know what was going on. You always wanted to know where the story was going to go, and that you were rooting for Morrigan, and she has a support network. And I think that's one of the things about Harry Potter, is that he has a support network, and they grow as the books go on, don't they? So that you have, even in the book where he can't talk to the adults, he still has Dumbledore's army. In this book, she has a support network, and I think that's why it appeals to so many children because they're not completely isolated, and why they will want to be part of the story because there's a sense of you're going to be okay, we are going to look after you. But anyway, that's just my thoughts about it from finishing it yesterday. I only finished it yesterday, but I did kind of think, no, there's kind of a sense of there are people around you, you're not alone. You are loved for who you are. And I don't know, that's how I felt about it. So I loved it. I really, really loved it. A really positive book. I mean, it should be a brilliant week, really. I've just read a brilliant book. But anyway, so that's now going to go into Benedict's room. Ready for the end of the London Eye mystery. And we will crack straight into Wondersmith. So I was going to read Kingdom of Ash. I started Kingdom of Ash. And then I had quite a few people say, no, you do need to read Tower of Dawn. But I haven't got it. So I've put Kingdom of Ash to one side, and I shall get to Tower of Dawn. I shall read it, and then I shall read Kingdom of Ash, and then I will have read the entire series, and I will be pleased. And how long I've been going on? Far too long. So that's what I'm going to do. So I was kind of like, what shall I pick this up and pick that up? What shall I read? But I thought this morning, because I finished that Wondersmith late yesterday afternoon, so I didn't read anything. As I said, I didn't feel 100%. So I kind of thought I would have a comforting read. I did think about just doing a reread of one of my comforting books, but then I saw Jacqueline Winspear, not her. She wasn't just hanging around downstairs. Although, Jacqueline, you're welcome. Although it'd be a bit weird if you were just hanging around stairs up, in the lounge. Who's that lady? Jacqueline Winspear, the author. Hi. Anyway, Jacqueline Winspear, who writes the Maisie Dobb mysteries, which are cosy crime set in the 1930s, 1931. And this is an incomplete revenge. I have the first couple of books are in one jacket design, then there's this one, and then the next 6 books are in a different jacket design, but that's fine. I shall go with that. So this is the 5th in it, and I think we're up to book 13, and I think I have nearly all of them now. I buy them in paperback, not hardback. So yeah, so I've got quite a few books to go through, and once I get into Maisie Dobbs, I go through them quite quickly. They are quick reads for me. 300 odd pages, 340. So yes, I've only started it this morning, so I did 50 pages this morning. Light's gone, isn't it? So I shall read that as a little comforting read over the weekend. And then, I don't know. So I'm listening to They Do It With Mirrors. And I'm reading An Incomplete Revenge. And there we go. So the only other thing I've got to say is that some of you will have noticed, very few probably, that I actually uploaded a video, one of my yarn chats videos. I uploaded it, and it was, at the end had been cut off, but by 20 minutes. So I was a bit like, last 5 minutes I wouldn't have had a problem, but it hadn't uploaded the last 20 minutes. So I pulled it and I made it private. And I need to re-upload it, and I'm going to have a go at doing that today. But the husband had the computer, the laptop that I'm recording this on. He had it at work for various reasons, so I couldn't do it. But it is home now, as you can tell, so I can do it today. So that's probably what I shall be doing after this. So I will actually upload it as soon as it's ready, and as soon as I know that the whole of it has been uploaded, I will just make it live. So it may be 2 videos in one day. I know, crazy, eh? Crazy. But that's the kind of crazy, wacky person I am. Or wacky. Kooky. Jabby so upset somebody call me kooky. I really would. I'm not kooky. No. So there we go, lovely friends, lovely internet friends. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're having a better week than I am. Not that anything's bad's happened, just not been a great week. And I look forward to speaking to you again. This has been lovely. Let's do it again.